Hello dear students. From this video onwards, we will be learning a topic called structures in C. This topic, structures, is basically very important from the point of view of object-oriented programming. In fact, this is the beginning or the building block of objects and classes. But anyway, leave aside that term called object and classes right now. But what do you mean by structure? Now you just check, actually there is a word called record which everybody knows. This is a comfortable word for all of us. Record is something which everybody has. Every student has a record, isn't it, in the school? Like record of a student can be roll number given to the student, name of the student, parents name, address of the student, and so on. And school maintains record for all its students. Every cricket player has a record. For example, record of a cricket player can be country to which that player belongs, name of the player, number of matches played, batting average, bowling average, number of wickets, and so on. So you will see that every entity in the real world has a record associated with it. So every teacher has a record. Every electric bulb in a room has a record. What can be record of an electric bulb? It can be manufacturer name, voltage rating, wattage rating, that is power rating, then cost of the bulb. This becomes a record of the bulb. And the same thing which I am discussing, record, is called structure. Both words can be used interchangeably, but C language calls this as a structure. So definition of structure is basically user defined data type. You will know why. It is a user defined data type in C language. Okay. Now a structure creates a data type that can be used to group items of possibly different types into a single type. Now think of a cricket player. Just think, cricket player. And you are asked, what properties does this cricket player have? So you will say, this cricket player has country to that person belongs. Now you tell me, what kind of data will country store? It will be definitely string. That means it will be collection of characters. And then name of the player. What will be kind of this name? Name will be, of course, the array of characters, that is string. But what about batting average? Now batting average will be a float, isn't it? Will be a float. And you are saying that these are the properties associated with cricket player, but you observe that country and name is a property of type string, whereas batting average is of property of type float, or number of matches that this player has played, maybe 100 matches, but this is an integer. So basically, when you think of a record or a structure of a cricket player, structure or record, whatever you call it, both words are same, then basically structure is nothing but collection. It is a group of various properties associated with that entity, like cricket player. And these various properties or items, what you call, might be of different types. And when you group all these related properties, you say that you have created structure for a cricket player or record for a cricket player. Just check out this very carefully. I mean, the definitions are not important from GATE point of view. I guess you should know why we are doing this or what are we up to. Just see, suppose we want to declare a structure for an employee in a company. Imagine an employee in a company. What will employee have? Every employee will have some number. We have given some number to the employee. Name, of course, and salary. That's what the employee works for. And many other things like address of employee, marital status, whether married or unmarried, number of children the employee has, and so on. Address of the employee. Now you want to declare such an employee in your program, in your C program. Then what you do is you use struct keyword, not structure. Complete word is not used. Struct keyword, and note this declaration. We are declaring a structure, so we use the struct keyword and give some name to the structure. This name given is user defined name. We decide this name, like we decide names of the variables x, y, z, I, j, k. Like that, some name is given. We have given the name as emp because we are declaring a structure for employee. And now necessarily, you see, after writing struct emp, after starting the declaration, there is always brace open and brace close. And necessarily at this end of brace close, we give semicolon. Semicolon is a must here at the end of structure declaration. And what do you write here? Between these braces, you write what an employee in our company has. Employee has employee number, so name it like ENO. Any name can be given like XYZ, but ENO is better, and employee number is going to be integer. Assuming that we have given employee numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4 to various employees. Employee has name. Let's say name is the variable, but it will be char. And it won't be single character. Hello, name is going to be array of characters. So we may create array of 40 characters. Assuming that there is no employee who has name larger than 40 characters. And then salary. So declare a member salary which is of type float. Salary can be in rupee paise. And more members you could have declared here, but I have stopped declaring only 3 members. So you see this declaration. What we are announcing, here we are announcing that every employee in our company has employee number which is integer, name which is character array, and salary which is float. Now, are you understanding that these three members which I have declared inside the structure are nothing but variables? Please tell me, on any other day, if I would have given this line int ENO and asked you what is this, you would have said ENO is a variable of type integer. So ENO, name, salary, all these are variables, but we have declared these variables in the house of the structure. Inside the structure we have declared them. Hence, we say that every employee will have employee number, name, and salary. This is how you declare a structure in C language. Just tell me, if you are declaring structure for electric bulb, how will you declare it? You will say struct, maybe you will name it as bulb or any name you can give, brace open, then you will have manufacturer name, maybe Philips, Crompton Grieve, whatever. So let's call it as M. M is manufacturer name and let it be 100 characters. So you can comfortably store manufacturer's name. Then it will have voltage rating. Let's call it as V, like 230 volt bulb. It will have wattage rating. Let's call it a W. Let's say 40 watt bulb. And it will have cost. The cost will be float. Let's call it as cost. Okay. And here ends the bulb structure. What that means is, according to us, in our program, every bulb will have these 4 properties. This is how you declare a structure in C language. So I have given additional definition below this structure declaration here. See, here EMP is a user defined data type. This is now known as user defined data type. Watch out. We know that there are data types, built-in data types in C language like int, float, double, char. These are built-in data types. But now using mixture of these built-in data types, see how int, char, float, using mixture of this, we have created a new data type. This is a user defined data type, EMP. So basically what structure does is it goes one step ahead. When I first learned this, I said, wow, even this can be done. Till this chapter, we were using int, float, double, char. But do you now know that there is EMP also, which has become a new type? It has become user defined data type. So we can create new types from existing types. Okay. So what is EMP? EMP can be said as user defined data type. This structure is group of 3 fields or members, which are ENO to store employee number, name to store name of the person, and salary. Just check, members can be of different types, of course, grouped together into one structure named as EMP. Different types because first is integer, second is character, third is float, so they can be of different types. Okay. Now, once we have declared this structure, how to use this structure? Okay, in programming, how to use, one thing is you will declare this, but now you want to use this structure. Now, one sentence I am putting up, always remember this sentence, I mean, just check this. Declaring this much is not enough. Is not enough. I mean, suppose you have declared struct EMP and done this declaration, then this is not it. To use this structure in the programming, you will have to write one more line. Just check how to use the structure. After declaring the structure, you will have to write one more line. This line. Struct EMP E1, E2, E3. Now, you have already declared struct EMP. Watch this. Watch this. You already done this declaration. And now you are writing this line again. Struct EMP E1, E2, E3. Now, this line is so simple, I mean. If learned it from variable point of view. This line is very simple. Let me prove it. And what does it mean? Just check. We have written a line after this line. Struct EMP E1, E2, E3. Now this E1, E2, E3 are variables. But you know variable should always have a type, and type of this variable is struct EMP. I said struct EMP has become a user defined data type. So you are actually creating 3 variables E1, E2, E3 of type struct EMP. Now, as these are variables, these variables will be stored in the memory. Let's assume this is memory. Then how E1 will be stored? You see, E1 will be a block, E2 will be a block, and same goes with E3. E3 also will be a block. Now watch, E1 is a variable of type EMP, which is a structure. Then E1 will have 3 members, ENO, name, and salary. So what you can do is you can store some employee number here like 10. You can store some name here like Samir. You can store some salary here. Similarly, E2, just watch, E2 is also a variable of type EMP. So E2 will also have ENO, name, and salary. And same goes with E3. Same goes with E3. Please try to understand. In the memory, we have made provision to store data of 3 employees. Because ENO that you will store inside E1 will be different or can be different from ENO you will store in E2 or ENO you will store in E3. Or name of E1 may be Samir, name of E2 may be Jack, and name of E3 may be Mohan. So you have done provision to store data of 3 different employees. What if you wanted to store data of 5 employees? Simple. You say I want E1, E2, E3, E4, E5. And all these variables are of type EMP, where EMP itself is a structure. Note, this word must be written before the word EMP, because that's how we have declared it. So we read this as E1, E2, E3, E4, E5 are 5 blocks stored in the memory. Okay, I'm not drawing E4 and E5. And each one of them will have whatever EMP has. And what is EMP having? Come on, we have written it. EMP is having emp number, name, and salary. Then each one of them will have 3 members. So please try to understand who has place in the memory. Who lives in the memory? EMP is not stored in the memory, but E1, E2, E3, which are variables, are stored in the memory. So after declaring this structure, you will have to make the variables, and creating variables is so important because variables will live in the memory and variables can store values. Okay, so as I was saying, E1 is in the memory, E2 is in the memory, and same goes with E3. Same goes with E3. And each one of them will have three members, namely ENO, name, and salary, which can hold integer, character, and float. Again, integer, character, and float, same goes here. Okay. Now, what if you want this employee number of E1 to be 10? Simple problem. I want this employee number to store 10. Which employee number? This is employee number of E1. Then I will have to write in my program E1 dot employee number. This is the notation. Note, in C language, first time you are watching dot written by your teacher. You have written semicolon, you have written comma, isn't it? You have written round bracket, square bracket. First time we are writing dot. This dot is always used with structure. Now note, E1 is a struct EMP variable. Which type of variable it is? Variable of type struct EMP. And this E1 is having a member. Oh, I'm so sorry. It is ENO. I'm so sorry. This member is not emp number. This is ENO. Okay. ENO. Equal to 10. If I write, now C will understand that you are talking about ENO member of E1. So this ENO member of E1 is going to store 10. Or what if you want E3 salary? You know it has salary field to be 50,000. Then you will have to write E3 dot salary equal to 50,000. Now 50,000 will be stored inside this structure and in the salary member. So what is the notation? What is the notation to access the member? You see, you use dot notation. Whenever you want to access a single member, you use dot notation. Okay? And that single member has to be accessed by using structure name. So when you write E1 dot ENO is equal to 10, then you are talking about ENO member of E1 that will store 10. Or maybe E2 dot salary is equal to 10,000, then salary member of E2 structure will become 10,000. Just before we leave this video, just help yourselves. How about declaring structure for bulb again? Structure for electric bulb. How will you do that? You may say struct bulb, brace open. Now you may then say this bulb has manufacturer name, like 100 character manufacturer name, maybe Philips or Crompton Greaves or whatever. Then it will have voltage rating, let's call it as volt. And voltage rating will be 230 or something, so it will be int. Then let's declare wattage rating or power rating, which will also be int, and let's declare cost of bulb. And here ends the structure. Now see, by declaring struct bulb like this, you have created a type, user defined type. This bulb does not have any existence yet. To make variables of this type, you will have to write a line struct bulb maybe B. Then B is a variable of type bulb. Then B will have place in the memory. This is memory and B will have some place, and B is not a simple variable. B is of type bulb. Then whatever bulb has, it has manufacturer name, it has voltage rating, it has wattage rating, and it has cost. All four things will be in this bulb variable. But you can declare more bulbs like this. For example, if you say, let's say Y or Z, then B, Y, Z, all three are variables in the memory which can store data same as what bulb can store. Now, what if you want this cost to be 120? How will you do that? You will have to write B dot cost is equal to 120, isn't it? Or what if you want VAT? power rating of this to be 40. So you will have to write z dot wat is equal to 40. This is how you declare a structure and you make variables. Both are important. Just declaring structure is not enough because that structure won't have any existence in the memory. But variables have existence in the memory. So you declare variables and then you use them to store values. I hope you understood the very fundamentals, very fundamentals of structures. When we return in the next video, we will see some more things about structures. Thank you very much.